All rise for the Honorable Judge J.
All right.
Right.
Hold
There
on.
it is. Oh, your
Hold
pillow
on.
fell again.
You may be seated.
Pillow.
You may be seated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please take a seat.
Pillow,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Aditi, welcome to Judge J's courtroom.
right.
I run a tight ship.
Is
I'll
there
tell
a
you that
bailiff?
right now.
Is there a bailiff here?
There was.
What happened to him?
We don't have
Court's
6
denying
mics.
him.
gone.
He's got COVID,
We
I
traded
think.
Aditi for the bailiff.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
true. Yeah, yeah.
Anthony, I love you, but man, we got the better end of that deal. Okay, I know you've been sworn. I've read your complaints. We've got a fairly full docket, so let's go to the court reporter. What are we starting with?
At this exact moment in time, would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Drew Brees as your starting quarterback for 6 to 8 weeks if Deshaun Watson is
I
suspended?
told you we deal in hypotheticals.
Almost exclusively.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Yes.
who is the you? Is the you the Cleveland Browns, or is the you any random
Like the Browns.
imaginary team?
This is where it runs on its imagination, Aditi. You can take this if you're
Wherever you want.
Anywhere
You're a
you want to go.
Browns fan.
This is a judge court.
And I'll make a
Notice
ruling
how he
on
just
that.
decreed
I'm going to
that.
make a
I'm
ruling
actually-
on her question, because
Yeah.
that's a fair question.
Yeah.
You're a Browns fan. You just heard that Drew Brees axed by NBC or leaving on his own, whatever the case may be, and he had a tweet where he was like, who knows what I'm going to do? I might come back and play. I might join a professional pickleball league. I don't know. And then
I
it got, I
understand
know it
that
got,
feeling.
it got Browns fans to thinking, like, wait a minute. So maybe in the absence of Deshaun for 6 or 8 weeks, Drew Brees.
This is what we do
That's
with our
what we
spare
do. Yeah.
time.
We make
Guys,
believe.
I'm going to start
Okay.
this argument, and
Okay.
unbelievably, I'm going to make the argument for Baker Mayfield, something I haven't done in about a year and a half. I'm sick of Drew Brees. I didn't like him on TV. He is mentally checked out from the game. So as much as I'm down on Baker, at this point, I would argue that Baker is a better quarterback than Drew Brees. That sounds insane because Drew Brees is going to the Hall of Fame, and right now Baker's going to the Hall of Shame. But still, at this moment, he is the better quarterback. And I don't know. I'm just irritated by Drew Brees. I'm not sure why, because he won me 2 fantasy football championships over the years, so I should be a big fan.
Yeah,
but
you owe him.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I hate him. I hate him. I hate
Show
strong.
some reverence.
Yeah.
Also, I'd ask
Yeah.
the court to strike the Hall of Shame record from the Hall of Shame comment from the record.
I also-
it was totally unwarranted.
Yeah.
There's no context to it.
I should have called objection.
I don't even know there is a Hall of Shame, but I don't think Baker's
There
done
should
anything
be.
that deserves to go to the Hall of Shame.
We should start
Fair.
one. Let's start a Hall of Shame.
I want to start
Oh,
that. But
man.
yeah, all right.
That
Go
would be
ahead.
good.
I'm
You're
gonna make
onto
this.
something.
I'm gonna get this mine over with quickly. I'm gonna disagree. I actually think obviously Drew Brees has the proven track record. If in this hypothetical we actually had access to him, you get rid of all of your Baker headaches. Obviously, I think that he's probably smart enough to pick up on our system very quickly. And yes, of course, if I have the option of having a future Hall of Famer in Drew Brees, who's not that far away from retirement, I would rather have him.
So you're going with Drew Brees.
I'm going Drew Brees.
Aditi, would you like to argue one side or the other? Would you like to sidebar with Your Honor so you can maybe help me make my decision? Because I usually, and I will also have a conversation with you as well if you'd like to weigh in on this. But
Well, I'd like to just add a separate point, if that's okay.
that's fair.
Please.
Adam is saying that he's not sure that Drew is really into the game at this point. But in this hypothetical, aren't we assuming that Drew is into the
fair
game
point.
and that
Right.
Drew wants to play?
That is a
fair
correct
That
assumption.
seems like a completely invalid point right there. And I would also like to bring
Immaterial.
up
Good
the
point.
that just about an hour ago, not even an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, Adam was railing about the immaturity
Yes.
of Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Yes.
So then shouldn't the maturity in the quarterback room and the locker room actually
won me
count
over,
for
okay?
something?
Yeah, you just got smoldering,
I got
friend.
destroyed in that argument.
So, G. Bush, are you
agree.
going
Yeah,
Baker
we'll go.
or
Talk me
Drew
into it.
Brees?
Yeah, listen, I was going to go along, but since they don't know how to argue this point, let's
Yeah.
go ahead with Baker
Go ahead.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
Listen, Baker Mayfield, obviously, everyone knows he was hurt last year. Did you see Drew Brees the last time he played? Didn't have much in the tank. You're coming up here, he has to play in cold weather.
Not the first 6 weeks of the season.
Well, here's the thing. Some of us think that he's going to be suspended for well over 6 weeks. They keep coming out with stuff, and that
I
can be up to
I
a year.
believe the scenario was 6 to 8 weeks. That gets us to November. It's not cold yet.
We don't live in Cleveland.
You never know.
You're not a licensed meteorologist. You are not free to talk about that.
Back-
He's heavy
with the-
online too.
He's heavy
see,
with the gavel tonight.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
I feel
Like hurt your injury.
I will say this. Baker Mayfield at this point in his career is better physically. Baker Mayfield at this point of his career knows the offense. At this point in his career, Baker Mayfield has done more things for the Cleveland Browns than Drew Brees. If Drew Brees comes back, what can you naturally expect from Drew Brees given the fact that he's old 90? The obvious choice
I
is
have a
Baker.
rebuttal point right
You
there.
can make your point.
Yes.
Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl when he could barely throw the ball.
That's a great
Sometimes
point.
there is
Yep.
incredible value in having a smart, heady, wily veteran player who can teach your locker room how to be a professional, who can teach your quarterbacks
Could
how
use
to
some of
approach
that.
the game.
Could
Rub
use
off
some of
a
that.
fact.
She has won me over. Let's change my argument.
I have a rebuttal. Peyton Manning at the end of his
It wasn't
career,
granted.
he never retired.
Make your rebuttal.
He
you.
never
Thank you,
retired.
Counselor.
He wasn't eating steaks and posted up with his kids and watching Lifetime movies like Drew Brees has done for the last 2 years. Peyton Manning.
one year, 1 year.
No,
a
but
year
in
and
this
change.
imaginary
1 year.
scenario, we are saying that Drew Brees is actually ready to play.
Motivated.
Yes, in
That's-
this scenario.
Okay, in this imaginary scenario,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Drew Brees is not just hanging out watching Lifetime. Drew
He's not
Brees
gonna
is
come back not in
training.
Would
and
Drew
throwing
Brees actually be
footballs.
watching Lifetime?
Never.
That's speculatory.
I
Yeah.
think he's watching
Yeah.
like the country music channel.
Speculatory.
I think he teaches
Does that still
Sunday
exist,
school and
the
stuff
country
too.
music channel or whatever that is?
You got to throw
CMTV.
if you got one drive, right?
Yeah.
You got one drive.
I'm taking Drew Brees.
You'll take Drew Brees.
It's unquestionably.
Yes.
I mean, how many times did we see Baker fourth quarter, late close,
Yep.
interception?
Yeah, he at least
Can't
would take
get
the
it
he'd at
done.
least take the hit and not throw an interception
And
in
I think the
desperation.
really big deal here is that Baker is indeed, Brees is indeed a professional who's dealt with a variety of different things, whether it's Taysom Hill coming in or out,
Great point.
trying to win a point in New Orleans. And I think what we saw from Baker last year was a piece of tightness, knowing that he was playing for a contract.
I agree.
Look, in a contract year, it's like that line about pressure. Pressure bursts pipes, it also makes diamonds.
That's it.
Baker didn't really handle the pressure of playing for his big contract
That's
that
right.
well.
You're right. I will
There was
give
no Joe Flacco in him.
I'll give her a win on this, and I will use this information against Judge Day in the next panel
Yeah,
when
you
you
will.
talk about Baker Mayfield coming back for $18 million.
Yep. And that's how the
She gave
legal
us good
process
arguments
works.
against Jay and keeping Baker.
It was a
That's the end of our
reverse.
docket today. It looks
That's
like
what
we're
I'm here
done.
for.
Yeah.
What do we have, Mikey McNuggets?
Are you making a ruling?
Yeah.
I'm making a ruling. I think it's fairly obvious which way the court is leaning. The counselor makes some very, very valid points.
Yeah.
First and foremost, let's just say it out loud. Drew Brees, Baker Mayfield. That's all you have to say.
End of discussion. Yeah, fair enough.
I
The
love
court
that.
rules. Drew Brees.
He's
It
loving
is-
that gavel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
he
know, I
loves
know.
it. Well, we gotta like put some
Here
padding
a little
on
bit
that or
right here.
something. Yeah.
It's power.
Very vexing.
You don't want to put
Really?
power in the
I don't
wrong
know
hands.
anything about power, frankly. I have two little kids.
So let me just issue this decree. So it is said, so it will be done. The first 6 to 8 games of the Brown season, should Deshaun Watson be unavailable for any reason, Drew Brees will indeed be the Browns.
Congratulations, Drew.
Well done,
Yeah.
Drew.
He's
Well
probably
done,
so
Drew.
excited
This is
right
beautiful.
He's on the golf course right now saying, wait, what?
Like, I got a what?
Seriously?
Now,
I was serious about the pickleball thing. I wasn't serious about coming back.
You ready for question two?
Mikey McNugget, what's their second case?
Which superhero would make the best NFL player?
That's easy money.
The court would like a little clarification. Are we talking Marvel? Are we talking Justice League? Like, what are we?
Okay, I
what's
need to
open
scroll.
here?
I need to do some quick research.
Any mainstream superhero.
Okay, so I'll tell you
of
what.
Marvel or DC.
You throw
Go.
it out, and Your Honor will make a ruling as to
Okay.
whether or not that superhero is even
Yes.
eligible for
Your
this
Honor,
discussion.
this
Okay.
is a very easy debate here. I mean, most of them would be good, but I'm going with Captain America, of course. Captain America has super speed, has super strength. He really can't be hurt. So you never have to, you can't make the club from the tub. You don't have to worry about him being in the tub because he's always healthy. He can outrun everybody. He can outstrength everybody. And all you do is get him the ball. He's going to score a touchdown
Can
every
Your
time.
Honor ask where you plan on using Captain America?
I mean, I could use him anywhere, but I think I'll use him as like a slot receiver. I'm going slot receiver.
Just special teams.
Okay.
You got
Yeah.
Captain America as a slot receiver, and he's
wanna
one of
get
the
him the
greatest of
ball
all
quick.
time.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make him running back. Whatever.
Yeah, I'd want him more than a slot receiver.
Yeah.
But the court will take your argument.
I'll
under
just say
advisement.
receiver. Just receiver.
Mike, do you have a superhero that you'd like to see
Of course,
in the NFL?
and this is why, like, I'm sort of like a jock nerd hybrid. I can walk between both worlds. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You're all jocks. You've all had like, you don't get stuck in the Marvel weeds the way that more of my friends have, and I have to hear them than
I've
anybody.
seen
to be
every
honest.
Marvel movie.
Okay, well then why would you pick Captain America?
Why?
Just basically instead of Superman. And I'm not picking Superman. It's too easy.
Oh, you're not?
It's too easy. And I'm not
Say
saying that,
Captain America's too simple.
well, yeah,
All
Superman,
right, fair enough.
Superman has like this is the strongest guy in the universe.
I don't
fastest
like
guy-
DC though.
All right, well, that's not the question, though,
fair.
whether or not you
All
like
right.
The
DC or
Superman
Marvel.
thing
The
is
question
that
is who would be the best football player.
If the defense all wore a little kryptonite necklace,
That's a
your guy's
great
done.
point.
He's
Great
done.
point.
shoulder
True.
patch. You're
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
And that's
So
another
who's your
reason not
guy?
to pick him.
Or a woman.
I'm picking a superhero named Nightcrawler from the Marvel Universe. Because
a little obscure, though.
Wait,
who said he
Stand
couldn't
by.
be
The
obscure?
court needs clarification. The court has never heard of this.
Nightcrawler, I will. He can bring me in as an expert witness.
Thank you.
Nightcrawler is a specific, and he has very detailed powers. It's actually a decent choice.
He has teleportation powers.
Yes.
In other words, he can disappear from one area and appear in another
In the
area.
end zone.
In the end zone. He's an excellent
It's illegal,
acrobat.
though. He went out of bounds.
No, you don't know that. Where was he? You don't know. But think
True,
about
he's
that. You got your
invisible.
choice. So yeah, it'd be hard. I thought about The Thing, who's made entirely out of bricks. I thought that might come in
That's
handy.
a
okay?
great choice.
Of course, I considered Superman. You can't go wrong with Superman. But
Especially the Clark Kent bookish piece. Can't
Yes.
you see him studying a playbook really
That's
well?
a
yeah,
good
you're
point.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd study
He's
the
gonna know that
playbook as Clark
playbook
Kent.
inside and out.
He'd live with it. No, but I want a guy who can just suddenly disappear from one area and appear in the end zone. I'd have him play both ways and play cornerback. He reads the quarterback, he can read his eyes, see where he's about to throw, and he's just all of a sudden there and grabs it and he's gone. You can't. He's not the strongest guy. He's not the fastest
What
guy.
does the Thing look like?
The thing.
No, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nightcrawler looks sort of like a demon with a tail. He also
He
has
has tails,
He
he
has
has
a
four
prehensile
fingers,
tail. That
three
can't
fingers.
hurt. You know what I mean?
True.
Grabbing people.
Yeah,
So,
no, you're
anyways,
right.
I am Team Nightcrawler for. I think he'd be an excellent NFL player.
I didn't expect that answer.
Yeah, I know you didn't, because you guys are jocks.
You think outside the box, Mike.
Yes,
Cole.
yeah.
Aditi, I know you've done your research.
I did, but I don't know how I'm supposed to compete with that.
Yeah, that is pretty
Because
good.
you're a jock
And
too.
you know, well, maybe that's
The
part of it. I would
teleportation thing
appreciate
is
that.
on point.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
can we just go with the Hulk then? Because Myles Garrett reminds me of the Hulk, and you
That
have
was
the
my
most
choice.
That's a good
strongest
call, too.
superhero
Yeah.
that's out there. And if
See,
you're
but my
thinking
problem
of,
with the Hulk is he has no control over himself. He'd be causing penalties. all the
Oh,
time.
I can talk about a
He's out
lot
of
of
control.
defensive
He'd
players that don't have much control
uncoachable.
either.
Uncoachable.
Some would say Myles Garrett lost control in one
No,
pretty
you
bad
just coach
situation.
him when he's his alter ego.
When you coach him as Bruce Banner.
Exactly.
And then you gotta get him
turn
mad.
into
He'd
just
the
be
Hulk
running around the
on
field.
But then you got to get him real mad right before the game. And just be like,
And he'd probably kill the other team. He
Most
wouldn't just
likely.
tackle him. He'd kill them.
Obviously.
yeah. And then he's going to be.
I'm not
hole
great
in
at
your
these
argument.
imaginary
There's a
games.
slight hole in your argument. The court will take it under advisement, and,
Yeah.
and I'll issue my ruling after G-Boy.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just shut this down. I can't believe
Great.
you left the door open like this. First of all, if you really know your superheroes, there's only one choice.
we don't.
The Man of Darkness, Batman himself, is the franchise quarterback. Let me tell you why. Not only is Batman in the Justice League, he's the captain of the Justice League. Batman's the team leader.
Batman's the
Batman's intellect and master detective. He figures out the Riddler. He knows playbooks. He knows where to put people in position. And not only does Batman know that, he's taken a step further. He's in the Justice League, but he's come up with a report on how to stop every individual member of the Justice League in case they go rogue. Batman is the obvious choice. He doesn't need a max contract because he's rich as heck. And Batman is the captain of all captains. Batman, the regular man, the guy's guy, the pro's pro. Batman's the choice.
Rebuttal, Your Honor.
Oh,
Rebuttal.
wait, no.
Rebuttal.
There's none to rebuttal.
In the issue of fairness, you make a very strong and compelling case. However, the court likes to hear other dissenting
Thank you.
opinions. I might change my mind.
There you go.
I was ready to rule, and then he dropped Batman on me.
I totally understand rebuttal, Your Honor. He's just a rich jerk when it all comes down to it. He has no superpowers
Right.
whatsoever.
If he couldn't wear his suit on the field.
His tools, no,
He
you
wouldn't
couldn't.
be
His
useless.
although they're essentially, the guys essentially these days are wearing Batman's Kevlar out there as it stands.
They pretty much are.
But regardless, he can't. None of that stuff applies to the actual game. He can't be using like bat hooks and stuff like that to stop
I
people.
agree.
That's illegal.
Go ahead. I'll let you
His
finish.
utility belt
And
would be
all
off
of his-
limits.
We'll
all
take
of-
his utility belt
Yeah,
off. Go ahead.
all of his uses of those things that he has against the other superheroes would be worthless because he's out there not playing against them. He's out there playing against normal NFL players. Last point, I've already changed my mind on my superhero. I'm going with Dr. Xavier in the wheelchair.
wheelchair.
Wait a minute.
Yes, but he has mind power over everyone, and he can just tell everybody, like, hand me the ball. And then he just cruises into the end. Everyone's
We need a ruling, Jay. We need a ruling.
Everyone's frozen.
need a ruling.
Picture everyone's frozen, and Dr. Xavier, everyone's just frozen in the field, and he's just
Well, then
rolling
what's
into the
fun
end zone
about
on
that?
his
Who would
wheelchair.
watch such a game? No one would watch
Yeah,
a game
it would
like
be
that.
very boring.
I'd watch it.
Okay, the court is ready to make a ruling. I will say that your last comments were. I'm considering disbarring you. You do not change your mind 75% into the
I understand. I get passionate about the law.
I just want to see that we follow the letter of the law. I
Yes.
think you all made very strong and valid points. I love the Hulk, but the availability is
Fair.
a problem.
Fair.
You know, if he's not in Hulk mode, he does me no good whatsoever.
Right.
Your Nightcrawler thing just
Yeah.
sounds creepy to me. It's a creepy name. I don't want anybody in my organization that's called Nightcrawler.
Right.
So I liked your argument, but I'm not buying it.
Right.
We don't even know who he did.
America.
We forgot.
I forgot. Such a compelling argument that the
As I
judge
think of
couldn't even
Captain
remember
America.
it.
Right?
And I'm trying to think specifically what he's going to bring to the table that other superheroes wouldn't. I didn't really have anything that he didn't.
Super speed, super strength. What
Here's
else
what
do you
I love
need?
about G. Bush's argument, and you can tell the court is heavily leaning.
Yeah.
If one of my drafts were to be leaked, which I don't allow that to happen.
No.
But if one of my drafts were to be leaked, you would find that I'm leaning heavily towards G. Bush.
Right.
And let the court
That's
explain
terrible.
itself. I love the idea that you went for a leader. He was the only one that thought in
Captain
that
America
vein.
is the leader
No,
of the
he's not.
Avengers.
Nobody
He
drops
is the
slot
leader of the
receivers
Avengers.
first
He
overall.
Yeah, Mikey McNuggets.
Wait a second.
Let me recognize
Captain
you.
America is
If
the
you
leader
don't
of the
currently
Avengers.
He
have
is the
your-
leader of the Avengers.
If you're not currently recognized by the bar,
And
you
the-
now are.
Thank
It's
you.
a great point.
And the
Straight up.
Marvel movies are way better than the DC
And he
movies.
has superpowers, unlike Michael Keaton in Batman. You want
Right.
Michael Keaton on your football team?
You know what? Here's what I want him to do. I want him to walk into the huddle, look around everybody. Everybody's waiting to see what he's going to say. He's going to look right at everybody. He's going to say, I'm Batman.
Yes.
And I'm in.
Right.
He's got me and I'm Batman.
Right.
I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
following this
He'd
guy.
own the huddle.
And I love
I
that
need a
you
leader.
don't have to give him a mega contract.
Captain America
We
said
talked about
Avengers
Tom
Assemble.
Brady.
Nobody
We
knows
talked
that.
about Tom Brady playing for a reasonable amount of money. He can
Aditi,
spend the money on his teammates.
Kind of. Tom Brady and Batman are kind of the same cat.
I'm seeing it.
He's taking $1, giving it to charity. He's already Bruce Wayne. Come on now.
Yeah, he doesn't need the money.
Doesn't need the
If
bread.
you want Tom Brady, then you got to go with like Fat Thor when he's drunk and upset.
No, absolutely not. The court's ready to rule. And I just want to do this one more time.
Okay.
The official court ruling is Batman would make the best NFL
yes.
player of all
Honestly.
the
Yes.
That is
superheroes.
terrible.
This is a mistrial.
Thank you
Can we-
so much. Thank
Can we
you.
take this to the Supreme Court?
You can appeal all
We're
you
appealing
want.
it.
Denied.
We're not going to do it because it's a frivolous and ridiculous argument.
Well.